wedding season is here, and millennials are taking prenups more seriously than any other generation, according to a report earlier this year. And there are several reasons for that.
Matrimonial lawyer and author Tanya Helfand is here to talk more about who should get a prenup and what to discuss with your partner. Welcome.
Thank you.
So there are a lot of people who think a prenup is kind of getting ready for a divorce. But you say this is important to have, especially from certain people, right?
Yeah, if you already have property before your marriage or you have children, it's a second marriage, it's a great idea.
All right, so not everyone needs a prenup, you don't feel?
I think very young people that really don't have anything can go forward without it.
And this is also something that shouldn't be, because I think sometimes people are embarrassed to talk about a prenup.
Right.
It's almost like, I don't really trust you, so let's get this all out. What should the thinking be?
The thinking should be a conversation about what your boundaries are and your expectations. Money is always, not that it's always a bad issue, but it's always a discussion issue during a marriage. So I think it's a good way of getting to know your partner and understanding what's going to happen going forward.
Why is it that more, especially millennials, why do you think more people are getting prenups these days?
Because unfortunately, divorce is a possibility. It protects you from chaos. As I said, it's like a lifeboat. You know, when you go on a cruise, you expect it to be wonderful, but once in a while there's something bad that happens, so you want to be prepared. So that's really what a prenup is.
And you were telling us right before we came on that a lot of times the courts can mess things up after the fact.
Well, it's
something to keep in mind.
Yeah, the divorce process can be messy and long and expensive, and by getting the prenup, you're streamlining it. You're dealing with certain issues, and the courts want to uphold the contracts. So those issues can be put aside or resolved quickly because you have this.
All right, so you need to do this with a lawyer and have full financial disclosure on both sides.
Absolutely, and you don't want to be under duress. Unfortunately, right, a lot of people are scared to do it or they're uncomfortable, so they wait till the last minute, and obviously that's not the best time to do a contract.
Explain it, like, how should you approach, what specifically should you talk about in terms of money in a marriage, in a relationship?
Anything, you know, how do you think about credit card debt? What would happen if somebody lost a job? Do you expect, if we have children, you know, to continue to work? Do you want to continue to work? What do you think about savings? You know, if you have been married already or in divorce, I am divorced, you know, I want my money to go to my child, you know, or at least a large portion of it, you know, and it's important to be fair. So there's these discussions. It's all financial discussions prior to a marriage because you're with this person, so you better know these things.
Do you have any examples of the way prenups have really helped a couple, or no prenup has really hurt a couple?
I had a case with a gentleman who owned a business before his marriage, so I think that was very helpful because that eliminated that issue where it could have been a huge mess during the course of the divorce.
So you're saying he had a prenup, so it was pretty clear?
It was good. It was not uneventful in the divorce, but I would say that part was nice. But there's a case, a New York case of a woman where a doctor was making $300,000 a year, and she signed a prenup, and when they got divorced, she wasn't working. They had a special needs child, and the prenup only gave her $20,000. That's what she signed on for. Now, that one actually was turned over. That was what's called unconscionable because it would make her a public charge. So that's not a good prenup.
Right.
You know, to be clear.
Okay, so you have to, even if you have a prenup, you have to have a good prenup, and it really has to be a little bit more equal.
Right, it's a contract, so you shouldn't be under duress, you shouldn't be pressured into it. There should be disclosure. It doesn't have to be 100% exact, but there has to be fair disclosure, and it cannot be an unconscionable contract, meaning, you know, it's just going to be completely unfair at the end. It shocks the conscience. That's what the language is in the court.
So interesting to talk about.
It's a lot of fun stuff.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it, and for sharing these tips. And you can find out more information on our website, cbsnewyork.com.